whosoever has been born, he must leave body someday. No exception to the rule. This leaving the body is what is called death. Okay? High or low, rich or poor. Those who were born, they had to leave the body. This is only for a temporary period that the man body has been given to us. This is a golden opportunity. In this we can know God. And to know God, we must know ourselves first, who we are, what we are. Most part of our life has already passed. This physical body is the first companion that we have when entering the world. But when we leave the world, it does not go along with us. So naturally, all things which have come in our contact through this physical body cannot go along with us. So a wise man is one who just works with a foresight. What is that thing that we can take with us even after leaving the body? So our Master says we cannot know Him unless we learn to die while alive. So this is the last enemy that we have to conquer is death. But how to conquer death? There is no escape from it, no exception to the rule. Even the Masters who came, the very incarnations of God, they also had to leave the body. And we also have to leave the body. Now to conquer death, when there is no escape, I think the only victory we can have is just to learn how to die. What happens at the time of death? Soul leaves the body. The life force is withdrawn from the underneath the feet, goes up, reaches at the back of the eyes, and eyes are upturned, and the dark scene comes. Now if we know how to leave the body, that will rise above body consciousness. Well, the man who dies daily, who learns to leave the body daily, there is no, fear of death. Death is no bugbear. It is a change from the physical into the beyond. So all masters who came, they said, learn to die so that you may begin to live. Death appears to be a bugbear. You see, to each one of us, anybody you say, oh, you have to die, he does not like to hear the word of death. But we have to leave the body. Why we are afraid of death? For two reasons. One, we do not know how to leave the body. You have seen the fate of those men dying, in what agony they passed through. Second thing is, we do not know what will be our fate after leaving the body, where to go. So these two things are the main causes of fearing death. So Master says, well, please, you must learn how to leave the body. So those people who are just afraid of death, even if they pass through this death process while alive, and there are many ways for that. Some are artificial, man-made, and some are natural, God-made. The man-made ways are difficult, hazardous, time-consuming, you see. Hereditary, we are not fit for those. So there's a natural way too. When you leave the body, it is said all glory and beauty lies within you. But we have no glimpse of that, you see, no experience of that. Tulsidas, a great saint, tells us. He says when he left the body, he reached the third plane, the causal plane. It was so beautiful, so enchanting. He said, well, this is the best of all that a man can have. But he says when he transcended the causal plane, transcended into the Mahabrahman, the pleasure and the bliss that he felt there, and comparison to that, the bliss that he had while in the causal plane, that compared to a washing room. So with all that, we hear so much about it, but we do not know how to leave the body and enter those. So all masters who came, they advised, well, learn to die so that you may be. So one man went to Prophet Muhammad. He told him, well, look here, the man asked him, well, you tell us to learn to die. He said, Bamira, though so man, you die while alive. You want to reap the full fruit of your having man body. So learn to die. leave the body at will. Then the man was afraid of, perhaps by leaving the body, is it a death that will lead me to the grave? And he said, no, it is not such a death that will lead you to the grave, but it is a death which will lead you from darkness to light. This is all of the Master said. Well, is it possible to die, to leave the body at will? Master said yes. It was also St. Paul whether man can die. He said, I die daily. Guru Nanak was asked, and he said, well, I die 100 times a day. Mariye to mar jaiye, phut pade sansar. Nanak aisi marni jo mare din mein 100 baar. So all masters advise us to that way. The death which is so fearful, now it appears. But with those who have learnt how to die, to leave the body at will and traverse into the beyond, they have tasted the bliss of the beyond. They want to leave the body, you see, but they are controlled. They have to work on in this plane under the will of God. It so happened at the time of death of Maulana Room, one Mohammedan saint, he was at his deathbed while leaving the body. Some friends of his came up, they prayed, oh God, give him recovery. And he opened his eyes, he said, let this recovery be blessed for you. And the people asked him, well, you don't want recovery? He said, no. Why? He said, look here, and the average daily life, I could hardly snatch away some time to leave the body and go into the lap of the Father. So the body stands a veil between me and God. Now the time has come, this body, curtain of the body should be rent asunder once for all. Don't you like that I leave the body and go into the lap of the Father once for all? You see the angle of vision? That is why I say, why should we be the saints? संतन को क्या रोइए जो अपने रह जाए, रो साकत बापड़े जो हाथों हाथ जुदा. Why should we weep the masters? They go to their homes. We should weep for those who have spoiled their life. They have not learnt how to die while alive. If you once know how to leave the body at will and traverse into the beyond, have experience of that beauty and bliss, well, naturally, you would like to be there. So for that reason you would find, Kabir said, everyday man is dying, but they have not learned to die while alive, the true living, true death, while alive. That is why they come again and again, because man goes where he is attached. So is it possible, can we leave the body at will? That's the point. Mirabai says yes. Mira Manmani. Surta Silas Mani. Now I am convinced, Mirabai says, that my soul can traverse into the beyond, fly into the beyond. Tulsidas was asked the same thing in his asylum. He says that we can traverse into the beyond. Who? The saints. And others who sit at their feet. So when we go to your master, the first thing first lesson he gives us, to die while alive. And how to die. He gives experience. You forget your body for a while. And your inner eyes open, you have the experience of God in the form of light. Your day to day, you are regular. Well, no fear of death. So the hymn he was just singing it was to the master, you see. And we have seen a very strange event, you see. People are afraid of dying even to hear the name of death. Strangers, now they are coming to his feet, well, master, teach us how to die. You see? People are afraid of that, and they're coming of their own will and pleasure. They want to die while alive. And the same man having their untimely deaths daily at the feet of the Master. So who can tell us how to leave the body at will, going to the beyond? He can give us an experience how to do it by demonstration. Otherwise, by regular practice, we must learn how to die at will. If once we know how to leave the body, then the whole angle of beginning change. Master gives you first day some experience to rise above, to open the inner eye, something to start with. Then by day to day regular practice he learns to. Regular practice makes regular. You see, when you know how to leave body daily, well, it is at the time of death, time does come, you will willingly go. So I am now, for instance, I am going back, you see. I have no fear of going back. You see. So whenever Master comes, you see, he says, well, man cannot be had half number years for a day unless a man learns how to leave the body at will. How can he go to enter the kingdom of God? That is within you. Kingdom of God cannot be had by observation. This is within you. So this is the first step, you see, which starts where the ABC starts, of the Paravidya, you might say. This is the religion, above all religions, of rites, rituals, dogma. This is one for all. Saint Plutarch tells us, the soul that is initiated into the mysteries of the beyond, that has got the same experience when it has at the time of leaving the body at death. So this is perhaps a very wonderful thing. People are afraid of dying and they are willing to come, Master, tell us how to die. You see? And there's no question now in your movement on this and that thing. These are outer forms, badges we are carrying, but this fate awaits us all without exception. This is what the Masters teach. Well, this is one thing which awaits everybody, and if you don't learn how to leave the body, you must be in agony. Isn't it? This is mystery of life that has to be solved. But there are so many mansions in the house of our life. There are so many planes in all creation. According to those planes, God has given us bodies to work through when we want. But pity it is, this iron curtain of body we cannot transcend. All mansions will be follow. They pertain to the outgoing faculties. They are meant for the preparation of the ground, developing love and devotion in us. They are good actions. But unless you learn to leave the body at will and be conscious of that God power controlling all creation, you see, until then you cannot become selfless, I think. So all Masters say, the world at large is either in feelings, or they are in emotions, or they draw inferences to come to some conclusion. They are all subject to error. Seeing is above all. Seeing arises when we shake off the physical. Then that seeing dwells more and more as we rise above other bodies we see. We have macrocosm in the microcosm of the matter. We have bodies according to those planes to enable us to just traverse in those planes at our will and pleasure. If we more advance, for such like personalities have been rare in the past too, and even now they are rare, who know the way and they can give the way, put you on the way. And that requires further development, you see, by regular practice, by perseverance and steadiness, and with good character. These are three things of utmost importance. So the theme that you were just reading, that was just addressing the Master was strange enough, a very strange thing we see. People are afraid of that. And now people are coming wailing to die, how to die, you see. Because there lies the door to heaven, you see, when you rise above body consciousness. This is what Christ said. Except you be born anew, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. And then Nicodemus, who was an old man, he says, Lord, I am an old man, how can I re-enter the womb of the mother and be reborn? The Christ says, marvel not, I say unto you, you must die. First learn to die. First birth we have got in the flesh. This is the second birth, to be reborn. Flesh is born of the flesh and spirit of the spirit. The first is born of the corruptible seed and the other of the incorruptible seed. But this is no new thing, you see. All masters have been referring to that. In the old days of India, the rishis had that very custom to make children twice born. Twice born. Reborn or twice born, this means the same thing. First they were born in the flesh. Then they were made to born into the beyond. That was called the twice born. And that twice born custom was performed only by the leaders, religious elders, who were competent to give the children an experience to be born anew into the beyond. The system you know continues. They used to give them the Gayatri mantra at the time. Om Bhuva Swa Tat Svit Purvarenyam. They had the competence to raise their soul above body consciousness, to open the inner eye to see this light compared to the sun rising. Now the system is there. The same mantra is given there, but they are not competent to give them experience to be reborn or the twice born. So these are the truths, no new ones. All masters who came in the past, they always gave out that. So what I am telling you, it is no new thing. As I told you, this is the old truths that we have forgotten. So this thing you cannot learn, you see, from those who are merely adept in the elementary steps, you see. Generally, you see, everybody is afraid of death. There is no exception to the rule. All who are born must leave the body someday. Even the very saints and the masters who came in the past, they had to leave the body. And we have to, there can be no exception to the rule. We are afraid of death for two reasons. First reason is we do not know how to die. What happens at the time of death? The soul is withdrawn from the underneath, withdrawn to the back of the eyes, which is the seat of the soul in the body. Eyes are upturned. Then drop-in comes. You see, we do not know how to leave the body. We have to leave the body. And second cause is we do not know where to go after that. So for these two reasons, men are afraid of death. So they say the last enemy that we have to conquer is death. How to conquer? You cannot escape. Then conquest will come only if you know how to die. You know? Saint Plutarch tells us that those who are initiated into the mysteries of the beyond, their soul experience has the same experience as it has at the time of death when leaving the body. So have conquest of death is to know how to die. That is why all masters tell us, learn to die so that you may begin to live. That's all what Prophet Muhammad said. So Guru Nanak says, we must learn while alive. Kabir says, because we do not know how to die while alive, that is to do that. When you know how to leave the body, our whole angle of being will change. This very body, which was the first companion while coming into the world, When it does not go along with us when we leave the body, then how those things which have come in contact through this body, how can they go? That is why all masters say, lay thy treasures in heaven, where no moth shall eat. So it is strange enough that the masters of the higher order now, you would say, there are many masters. They were there in the past too, and even now. When you go to him, they give you the very first day the lesson how to die, how to leave the body, how to rise above body consciousness, how your eye can become single to see the light of God. Well, once an experience is given, you see, day to day there's more bliss and beauty inside. All glory and beauty lies within you. When they have a taste of that, experience of that sweetness and intoxication within, naturally everybody would like to die. So, by learning to rise above body consciousness, we begin to enter the kingdom of God. We must be born anew, as I said. It is the birth of soul into the beyond, not birth of the flesh. Flesh is born of the flesh and spirit of the spirit. These customs were also prevalent in the old times, other places too. There is no new science being given out, new truth. It is the old truth. But all masters came and gave out the same thing. Prophet Muhammad gave the same thing. So when go learn to die, if you want to derive the full benefit of having a man body. And the man asked him, well, is it a death and we leave body, what to do? He said, well, it is not such a death which will lead you to the grave, but from darkness to light. Kabir says so, Guru Nanak says so, all of the masters, Mirabai says so, Tulsi, they say so. So this is something practical. This was taught by the masters who came in the past. They gave testimony to it. But now we have forgotten that thing. St. Paul was asked whether you die. He said, I die daily. What is death? Death is only transference from physical into the beyond. When you first learn to die, your angle of vision, the whole angle of vision is changed. When you've got more bliss inside, naturally you are unattached from outside. If you do serve the humanity, you serve the humanity from the angle of vision of the soul and the God residing in every heart. So these are the truths that have been given by almost all masters. Strange enough, we find that people are afraid of death and men are coming to the feet of the masters to learn how to die willingly. You see, untimely deaths are occurring. Now they come to the master, they give them a sitting for a while. They rise above body consciousness, they see, oh, this body is gone. The inner eye opens, they see the light, begin to see the light. They begin to hear the voice of God too. That is why Christ said to his disciples, blessed are you, while you see things what the old prophets could not see. You hear things what the old prophets and righteous men could not hear. So when you come to your master, you know how to die. And you know how to die, then no fear of death is there. You die daily. And Guru Nanak says, learn to die 100 times a day at will. So first step that we have to take is to rise above the iron curtain of the man body. You know yourself, you come in contact with God, you have got bread of life in the water of life, you see, which is word personified. You become spiritually healthy. On the spiritual health depends the health of mind and body both. So these are the teachings which are given by all masters who came in the past. Those teachings still stand. But for want of practical people, we have forgotten. That's all. For that, of course, purity of heart is required. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So this is what all masters have been giving. This talk was going on just before he came here. So for that reason then, we are concerned mostly with that. We have done various schools of thought only for that purpose, to solve the mystery of life. When you solve it well, you can help others too. This is a practical subject of self-analysis. The elementary steps that we have almost in all religions. To remain in some religion is a blessing. If you don't remain, either we will have to form new ones, or you don't remain, then there will be corruption, you see. So it's better remain in your own truth, no need of changing. That's the first step that you have taken. That's all right, by reading scriptures, performing rites and rituals. Those are meant only for developing love and devotion for God, and a desire to know God. They are good actions, but the mystery of life is to solve in this way, to know oneself. We know, say it is my watch, I can lay it aside. I say it is my coat, I can put it off. But I say it is my body, we cannot put it off altogether. So this is something we learned at the feet of the Lord. So the poet says, well, strange enough, people are afraid of death, and they are coming willingly at the feet of the Master to die. You see? Not only to die, but they are meeting with untimely death. Such deaths, we do not lead them to the grave, but give them more light, from darkness to light. So this is subject common for all. I just repeat in a few words what they were talking about before that. So very glad to see you. Baron was speaking about you this evening. We never expected you, but you come. Very glad to see you. So I've got a common ground for all, you see. That requires no change of religion, but to be true to one's own religion. The truth stand already. We have forgotten, that's all. A true Christian is one who sees the light of God, and a true Sikh, Hindu or Mohammedan, who sees the light of God. So, those who see the light of God, they are nearer to God, and they are, derive the full benefit of joining any particular religion.
He's coming to Delhi to learn more.
No, I just, only by the way, this subject was going on already. Sometimes that random subject whatever is taken, these are truths, you see, already existing, given out in our scriptures. But to have the right import thereof, you see, we want some man who knows the way. If we want to interpret at the level of intellect only, then we cannot do full justice to the work, you see. The intellectual say it is light of intellect. Well, it is true light. The people say, the children see. Daily every day morning the people come out, they have their sittings. With God's grace, they are having it. So such persons were also rare in the past, even though they are rare, the world is not without them. But right understanding of the true import of the scriptures we can have only at the feet of somebody who has that very experience in life and is competent to give us life. That is why it was said, Son knows the Father and others whom the Son reveals. Sonship continues. Christ existed before Jesus, even now. Christ is the God power. You see? Continues working at different human poles for the guidance of child humanity. They called it Christ power, they called it Master power, they called it Guru power. So blessed are they who have got this man body with the grace of God. And the highest aim is before us to know God. And to know God, we must know ourselves. Now that not as a matter of feeling or emotions or drawing inferences, but as a matter of self-analysis. Seeing is above all. There is food for the hungry and water for the thirsty. Demand and supply is the law of nature. Where fire burns, oxygen comes to help. Guru appears when the chair is ready. If a man has got desire in his heart to know God, God resides in every heart. He knows this child is after me. He makes some arrangement to bring him in contact with somewhere where he can be put in on the way. And who can put him on the way? No son of man can do it. When God has no equal, no brother, no father, no mother, who can give you a contact with that? God is light, you see. God is sound principle, the music of the spheres. Well, you will say that where God is manifest, that manifested God at the human pole somewhere will be able to raise your soul above body consciousness and give you contact with God Himself. And those who have desire, they are having it. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Let's say. So those who are ready, they are having it. The others, this readiness might come as a reaction of the past. And sometimes when a man passes through so many vicissitudes of life, he looks to some more safe haven, you see. So they have got a sort of awakening, and they have some inkling for knowing God. Desire, God makes some arrangement, you see, for him. We are all children of God. God, the Father loves the children. You see. Those who are not initiated, because they are not ready. If they have got, they must have it.